Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when the next video comes out. It only takes 2 seconds to make 2 clicks. So let's do it. Let's get back to the video. Hello, Fearless Freedom Tribe. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited because guess what? I have someone that actually we got to know each other a lot better after passing ships in the night or a day, I guess, on social media when she took the podcasting launch course for professionals. And Dr. Babalola has done some incredible things since then. So I'm going to have her tell you all about who she is and what she is currently up to, because let me tell you, this lady is killing it and she is up to a lot of really, really, really cool stuff.
Yes, thank you so much for the invitation to be on your wonderful podcast. You are an inspiration to me and everyone. So yes, as Dr. Charmaine Gregory has mentioned, I am Dr. Dolapo Babalola, aka Dr. Babs. I am a family physician. I practice both clinical and academic medicine at Morehouse School of Medicine. And I'm also I like to say proud, but actually blessed owner, founder of Living at Your Finest company. And this is where I help communities of color just to live at their finest holistic health by being empowered to nourish both their minds, their spirits, their bodies, so that they can flourish as health champions. That is what my passion is all about. And I do so using my podcast, my YouTube channel, and my coaching program. So exciting. I love to just empower communities, and I'm so blessed and honored to be part of the professional podcast. That was exactly where my journey began. So I'm so grateful to be part of this.
I am super excited and I cannot wait for you to tell more about your podcast, who your audience is. So you kind of gave a little bit of a hint towards that, but tell the audience what your podcast touches on, who it touches, whose hearts does your podcast touch, and what kind of content do you have?
Right. So as I mentioned, my passion really is all about empowering, and it's communities of color, but I focus mostly on women, really. I have a heart for women just because I've been there where women were nurturers. We take care of everybody else but ourselves. I mean, I'm reliving the journey where I was just down, completely down. Even though I knew what to do, I just couldn't find myself doing it. I was just caring for everyone. And so even though my focus is on women, I know that women are the powerhouse. So if you empower women to live at their holistic health, and when I talk about holistic health, I really am talking about not just your nutrition, but also your movement. I'm also talking about your emotions, talking about spiritual upliftment, how you can be enriched so that you can live at your finest. So even though I don't tailor everything towards weight loss, really weight loss is a side effect automatically, because I experienced this, going through the struggles of diet, yo-yo back and forth. And when I was really focused on my holistic health using lifestyle medicine, that was it for me. I was able to lose the weight. I was able to live healthier. You know how you always hear you have to put on your own breathing mask on the plane first, right? So having to get that concept and mindset that I needed to take care of myself first, that just did it for me. And so that's who my focus is, for that woman or that family member that just feels, no, I just can't do it. I can't make the shift. It's all about everybody else but themselves. So that's who I'm focusing on. And in terms of my podcast, I do both solo as well as I have guests in the same field that have similar interests and how they're nailing it. Because my magic code is healthier together. So,
Mhm.
we learn from each other, we grow together. So that's who my audience is. And I'm so pleased to hear that, and to, based on feedback and just reviews, that it's really appealing to the people that I wanted to appeal to. And of course, the women, once they get it, the rest of the house eventually get it. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
that's the whole goal for the whole community. And when I say communities of color, the reason why I say that is because, of course, as we know, with the pandemic, the community that got affected the most, and so African American. So I tailor mostly to that community because, just like we've always heard, once you know, you do better. So once you know, you do
That's
better.
right.
And I find that there's a health disparity, especially in my field where I work, the zip code where I work. A lot of them just are not aware. And I find that once they're aware, they're empowered, and they're able to do better. So that's why I tailor mostly to that community, because I know that there's a somewhat, gap between what they know to do and how they're able to do it.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so fantastic and so well needed. And I love that I love what you said there, because you said, there I was putting this content out, and I envisioned that it was going to be this particular person that was going to it's going to speak to them. And then it
Yes.
turned out to be something even more incredible. Like, it turns out that it spoke to more than just that one individual that you were considering. So that's fabulous. And then to hear that there is a positive repercussion throughout the family, right? So
Yeah.
you have the mom, or the female in the family, and she is making these changes, and she might be the one that is buying the groceries and making the meals.
Mhm.
And then, as a nice side effect, the entire family
Yes.
levels up in their health as well. So no, that's great. That is great.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so if you were to think back a little bit, like think back to um I guess early 2020 and you heard about the course, like what made you sign up to take the course?
Yeah, it's interesting because when I try to think back, how did I stumble on Dr. Charmaine Gregory's course? I think I started following you on LinkedIn, and I was so impressed with
Okay,
what you're
LinkedIn.
doing. You just really wanted to empower. You're just so given, wanted to share, wanted to help people out of their fear. And I've always had a concept of doing things afraid. So I've always done things scared. Anything I've ever done in my life, I do it scared because I just felt like I was never that person that was overly confident. So I just settled with the fact that whatever I'm going to do, and I wouldn't let fear stop me. So I still got things done, but I did it afraid. But I was, drawn to your content, and I started following you then. And I've always had this idea to build a company, and I was just waiting for the right time. And I guess 2020 became the right time. So I was like, okay, well, I have this somewhat extra time on my hands. Let me learn about the different ways to use my voice, amplifying my voice. I initially thought about YouTube, which I do have a YouTube, but that was really where I was going to focus on. I was going to focus on YouTube. But then I was doing a few, free podcasts here and there, but it wasn't giving me the substance that I needed. And then your course came around, and I was like, yes, I followed this doctor for a while, and she's doing amazing work. I'm going to sign up for this podcast, even though at the time I wasn't thinking about podcasts. But
Okay.
that's where it all started, and I'm so pleased and happy and thrilled that I
Oh,
signed
good. I
up,
am so
because
happy
that
to
was
hear
it.
that. So I'm taking it that it was a positive experience for you participating in the course.
Yes, it was an amazing experience. The way it was tailored, it was very organized. You were on time, and it was in the evening. It was just, how do I say, how they say user friendly? That's how I felt
Okay,
it was.
good. I'm glad
It
to hear
didn't make
that.
it. Yeah, it wasn't stressful. It was user friendly. You were on point, and you were very organized about what we were going to learn. If it wasn't for that, it did take me longer to start compared to the people in my cohort. But that was because, I initially had started with the mind that I was going to do the YouTube, but you
Right.
were always there encouraging us. Use your voice, amplify your voice. This is how you can do it. You can do YouTube, but you can also do podcasts. And you kept saying something to us, deliciousness. I think that was the word that you used. You're genius, you know.
Yes.
You know, so
you have to
you were
like
very
your zone of
supportive.
genius. You have to
Zone of
constantly be putting it
genius,
out
you used
there.
all those terminologies. So I was just blown away because, again, as I said, I had joined a couple of, free here and there podcast, and there was just nothing that hit it for me as, the 4 weeks, because it was 4 weeks and we had assignments. There was always supportive follow-up. So it was excellent, to say the least. I really enjoyed it. And the fact that even after the course was over, we were not left on our own.
Yes, yes, no, there's always a
follow.
possibility of like assistance.
Yeah, and
yeah.
of course, when you were recording, when I was listening to your podcasts, I would hear you mention us out and say, "Wait up, you're going to hear from them soon." So,
Oh yes, of course.
encouraging. So, I mean, I've really been blessed to be part of your podcasting course, because that's what really pushed me, and I'm so glad for that push and tug to amplify my voice and use my zone of genius.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so hopefully when you got ready to launch, you felt confident. Did you feel confident when you got ready to launch your show?
Yeah, I was definitely confident. As I mentioned, it did take me longer than my group, because the whole idea was you laid it out as to what we needed to do. But I, being a perfectionist, I wanted to have it nailed to the T. So that was the only thing that was keeping me. And I wanted to make sure I did it, I was confident and comfortable being out there. I think I was also working on that part. Am I ready to be out there? Am I ready for the commitment to release? So that was really what was holding me back. But once I followed the steps that you had, discussed in the course, how to be ready, how to promote, how many to release, just really taking your advice step by step, it all came to tuition. It was, everything you said was like magic and gold. If we follow your instructions. Yeah, it was great.
No,
yeah, so
awesome.
yeah, so I launched, and it was amazing.
Hey, it's Dr. G, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for listening to this episode. I'm so honored to have you here with me. Did you know that I can help you to get your own podcast started? With my podcasting launch course for professionals, I walk you through everything you need to know about starting a podcast. I'm with you every step of the way, from sign up to launching your show, with 5 episodes ready to go. There's a done for you version that's also available. If you would just rather just do recordings and leave the behind the scenes work up to us, then that one is definitely for you. But either way, we've got your back here at Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Oh, if you already have a show and you need production services, we have monthly plans available for you. So check out the links in the episode show notes for more information. Let's get back to the show.
It's interesting. I'm actually coming up on a year anniversary.
Yes. So this is the thing I want to know. What are you going to do? Are you doing things special for it?
Or? Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
I think I just missed one Friday, because I air my podcast on Friday, somewhere between Fridays and Saturdays. And I've only missed one weekend.
That is amazing.
Wow.
That's
people that know
awesome.
Me, like, my husband tells me that you get bored easily, and I tell everybody I get bored easily, but I have not been bored of podcasting. So for my 1-year anniversary, and I love being creative, right? And that's something you taught us in the course, right? That you tap into your creative side, and so in terms of what I'm going to do for my first year, I'm still, some really interesting things are going to happen. I'm going to have a guest, but I'm not revealing who the guest is, and they get to
meet him. Nice surprise guest. I like that.
That's what I plan to do, and really excited about it. I've had quite a number of organizations reach out to me and say they want to be guests.
Oh,
And yeah,
fantastic.
lots of collaboration. I've also gotten radio invitation to co-host,
Nice.
courtesy of the podcast. So there's been lots of opportunities that have arisen from just
Wow.
podcast.
That's so interesting because like just one decision, right? You made
Yeah,
one decision and then you like put the thing out there that you're like, I don't know. You put it out there and then all of a sudden all of these opportunities
yeah.
reveal themselves, which is and I try to like tell you guys that because like it's such a it's such a neat thing, right? Because you literally can have a conversation with pretty much anybody, like literally.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
once you say I have a podcast, they're like immediately interested in what you have to say.
You're right. You're right. I even did a podcast for work. I said I'm a associate professor at Morehouse School of Medicine, and we are exam software Aquaphor. They actually started with a podcast.
Look
They
at
just had
that.
4 or 5 episodes, and never in the would I have thought to inquire if they're looking for a guest. They were looking for clerkship directors. But because I felt so empowered, I have my own
Mm-hmm.
podcast. I've done this.
Love
How
it.
hard can
Love
it be? I
it.
approached them and right back, they were like, oh, you have your own podcast. Wow, come on. So yeah, it actually just aired 2 days ago. We recorded
Oh,
a few
awesome.
back. I was
Yes,
just
yes,
talking
yes.
about how we engage our students and enhance the learning. But yeah, tons of opportunities come about. So I definitely encourage listeners, don't sit on it. I really believe all of us, we have a voice, we have something to say. Somebody out there is waiting to listen,
Oh, that's
is waiting
right.
for that
That is
zone,
that is
zone
for
of genius.
certain. Yes.
Yeah, and then
That is for
take
certain.
advantage of the course. Take advantage of Dr. Sherman's Gregory's course. It's definitely going to give you all the tools and strategies that is well needed for a successful podcast.
And so thank you so much for that. And what I would like you to say now or what I'd like for you to share with the audience is how can they get to hear you and your show? Like the full name, is there a
Okay,
link where they can go just so that they know where to hear more of you, right? Because I'm sure they're going to
right.
want to hear more about what you
Yes,
say.
I would love to connect with your listeners, your audience. Yeah, so the best way to reach me on my website, it's called livingatyourfinest.com. My email address is livingatyourfinest@gmail.com, or Dr. Babs, which is BABS, um, at
And then
livingatyourfinest.com.
the podcast is the
Podcast
same
is
name.
Living at Your Finest. Yes. So
Perfect.
Living at Your Finest podcast can be found on all the different platforms, Apple, Buzzsprout. Yeah, all the all of them. We have Spotify, just all of them.
Nice, nice. Love it. Broad distribution. That is the way to go. Get to
Yes.
where the ears are located. That is
Mhm.
perfect. Awesome.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This has been such an amazing conversation. And I know that this is a it's a treat for me because I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend
Mhm.
with me and with the Fearless Tribe and just sharing your experience with the course and with your podcast, which I mean, ultimately the course is awesome, but like the fact that you have a podcast that's out there that's
Yeah.
making a difference in the community, in the lives of many, many people is really the treasure here. So, thank
Yes.
you for sharing that and sharing about your experience with that. And you are at that point in the show where we do our tradition, and that is to fill in the blanks. So, are you ready, Dr. Babs? Are you ready to fill in the
Yes. Bring
blanks?
it on.
Okay, all right. All right. So the first one is if I am fearless, I will.
Conquer the world.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes,
All
conquer the
right.
world with my voice and bring change to humanity, because that's what it's all about. All this podcast, and it's really to make an impact. So I'm very passionate about that. And if you're fearful, you can't do that. You can't achieve that goal. So yes, conquer the world by empowering everyone.
Cool. And then the next one is it to me, fearless freedom means.
Okay, to me, fearless freedom means. Wow. Just being the light of the world. Yes, being the light of the world.
Cool. And then the last one, the last fill in the blank is my battle cry is.
You have some really good, a good one. My battle cry. Whew. My battle cry is just to, it really, it's a personal thing for me because I've dealt with life-related disease such as hypertension. And I've been able to get off medications about 13 years ago. And I really believe that even as a doctor, I'm not anti-medication, but a lot of the chronic diseases that is faced in the world, 6 in 10 people will have a chronic disease. It's preventable. So my life cry is to just really empower people to understand that we don't need to rely on medications if we just are able to make those changes to our lifestyle. So that really is what I'm passionate about, and where we're no longer relying on medication to like a mask, like a bandage, and just really treat things at the root, take care of it at the root cause. So that's really what I would like for the world to to get to, where we have less diseases that takes lives and homes and communities that are just ill due to lifestyle related diseases. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. And we appreciate you here as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Again, I'm Dr. G. And if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified of when the next episode is going to be. And also, I'll catch you next time. Have a great one. Be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.